What does this mean for those of us here? You're going to get so good at taking action, just massive, imperfect action, at becoming addicted to celebrating your smallest wins, that it's going to feel automatic. Crushing your goals is going to feel effortless. Does anyone else relate with that? Going pro, even just the fact that you brought up about the whole email thing and that airlines do this, like, why are we not doing this? Why are we playing small and not going pro? And I want to share one more thing with you, which still goes into what we're just talking about with going pro. So I love this story, or actually, this is a movie. So do you guys remember the movie Catch Me If You Can? Anybody know that movie? Yes, I always see some nods. So good. So with Leonardo DiCaprio playing Frank Abagnale Jr., who worked as a doctor, a lawyer, and a co-pilot for a major airline, all before his 18th birthday. A master of deception, he was also a brilliant forger whose skill gave him his first real claim to fame. And at age 17, Frank Abagnale Jr. became the most successful bank robber in the history of the US FBI agent. Oh, in the history of the US FBI. Agent Carl Hanratty, sorry, I can't say his name right, which was Tom Hanks, makes it his prime mission to capture Frank and bring him to justice. But Frank is always one step ahead. Type one step ahead in the chat while I'm sharing this with you. One step ahead of him. Frank was always one step ahead. He was an expert of reverse engineering any career that he wanted to pursue as his next guise. Reading a book by Russell Brunson called Expert Secrets. Everybody know Russell Brunson? Expert Secrets, that outlines a blueprint for being a consultant, product, service, business based on your passion and what you know more of than 95% of the public. You also have to find a pain point of others that will pay you for your expert advice. So think of a business that needs to increase sales. Think of someone who is feeling overweight, that has been wanting and needing to lose weight because they have high cholesterol, a bad back that leaves you in constant pain. Would you pay for an expert that was able to alleviate that pain within just 3 steps? Would you guys? I want to see some nods. Yeah, I know I would. Would that be valuable? Then imagine if you have achieved the desired results for 5 others, and you could use them as case studies. Someone say case studies for your product or your service. Would that position you as an expert? Yes. In business and in life, if you are someone that knows a certain subject, you can find an audience that wants to get the desired results that you are an expert at. And if you've achieved these results for others, then yes, you are an expert. So when Frank Abagnale Jr. was finally caught after years of staying one step ahead, he was teaching a sociology class at BYU for the entire semester. The authorities asked, "How in the world did you teach that class? You knew nothing about advanced sociology." His answer was telling. All I had to do was read one chapter ahead of the students. So let that sink in. To be able to be seen as an expert and to teach others how to get the desired results, you just have to stay one chapter ahead, meaning no more than the student or the client. Whew. So for those of us who are always learning new methods, and more importantly, acquiring new skills in business, although we don't view ourselves as experts because we're still learning, it doesn't mean because of the extensive research we have done that others consider us as an expert because we know more than them. So I have a quote on my whiteboard from Dan Kennedy that says, "Your legend is what you get paid for." Your legend is what you get paid for. Better said, your expert advice is what you get paid for. So, how many of you know and can feel that expert inside of you rising, that pro inside of you rising? That's just like banging on the door. You've been doing this. You know how to do this. You breathe this. And who wants to know how to actually channel that and do it? And do it now. So who's ready? Who's